SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Are you a business owner looking for help with HR benefits and payroll? MWG Employer Services offers a wide range of services and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget.
I was so overwhelmed with HR stuff. MWG Employer Services took all the stress out of it and even set up my payroll. I couldn't be happier. MWG
Employer Services is here to help you succeed. Call us today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
SuperTalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome in on this Wednesday, Thunder and Lightning Wednesday, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad. You get Hadad for 4 hours. Don't forget, Thunder and Lightning starts at just after 6 o'clock. Thunder and Lightning tonight.
Back on our
Thunder and
normal
Lightning.
day.
Thunder and Lightning is coming up tonight. Thunder and Lightning. Yes, we're back. Everything's kind of normal again, Hadad. Although 2 weeks from now, are you doing Thunder and Lightning as part of the Not Fall Camp Tour?
No.
Okay, so back to normal in perpetuity for Thunder and Lightning. The most important show happening today is that 1 hour with you, Brian Hadad.
Why do I sense a little sarcasm?
No, I was like an hour ago. I was having a conversation with somebody about TNL, and they like it. I get it. And at the end of the conversation, Hadad, they were like, "Don't forget to say that Thunder and Lightning's coming up later today."
Well, you're darn right.
I'm doing
you're
a favor.
Shooting.
I'm doing a favor for a friend that's a Mississippi State fan right now, being a little bit sarcastic, of course. But we're glad you guys are with us. 601-879-4395 is the C-Spire text line. We got a lot to get to. Cole Cublelic going to join us here in about 30 minutes from right now. We've got a team on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. We've got what I think is going to be a pretty fun top 5 stadium anthems. Top 5 stadium anthems. We will do that coming up later.
And then I saw in the rundown we're having some sort of trivia challenge for me.
I'm going to test to see if you. It's not necessarily trivia, but it kind of is. I'll explain later.
Okay.
We'll do that later.
Okay.
But
I'm excited.
We do have to start with heavy hearts. We announced earlier today a tragic situation struck the SuperTalk family this week. Lance Tolbert, you guys may remember him. He played baseball at Ole Miss, and he was the producer of Mornings with Richard Cross, with Guard Mama and Handyman as well. He hosted the high school scoreboard show. If you listen to SuperTalk programming, you have heard Lance, and he passed away this week unexpectedly. And it came as a shock, as you can imagine, to all of us here. I hope that you will join us this week in thinking about and praying for his family and his friends as they try to make sense of this and gain strength from this. And it's a sad deal. I really liked him personally, but I really liked the way he interacted with my son. We came up here on a Saturday just to kind of show him around the office and stuff. And it was a guy that knew a lot. He knew a lot about my son without me having to tell him, I guess, from listening to the show and things like that. He knew a lot about James, and he was so good to him. And that wasn't too terribly long ago either. And it's just shocking and sad and tragic and all of the above. And again, we are thinking about and praying for his family and his friends in this horrible time, and hope they find peace and strength as they try to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the call yesterday that this happened, and I can't say on the air what I said because that's how shocking it was. I was amazed. And then, when something like that happens, the first question was, how old was he? And when I found out he's only 51, it's just shocking. You said the right word there. So, as you said, our prayers and thoughts are with his family and friends, of which we are, a big piece of that. The SuperTalk family is a very real thing. So, rest in peace, Lance. And, great guy. Every time I had a chance to talk to him, it was a joy, and we will miss him.
We will absolutely miss him. So a lot of I'm scrolling back at the other shows and just seeing a lot of beautiful messages.
For sure.
No word yet on anything other than that. But if there is any place to send flowers or something, if that ever becomes public, we of course will let you know if you guys want to participate in that. And I'm sure everybody's thankful for your well wishes and prayers, again, as I've seen here on the text line already today and throughout the comments on social media and all that. So those don't go unappreciated for sure. So, again, we are Sports Talk Mississippi. It's going to be a heavy day, but we're going to try our best to do a show. And we are thankful that you guys are here as we do it. And but we'll get started here.
Well, let's get started here. You're right. In the Pearl River Resort Studios, pearlriverresort.com. That's the place to find the weekend that you're looking for. You're looking to get away this weekend, looking just to have a good time, see a great show, eat a great meal, play some golf, enjoy some time with the family. It's all right there for you. Book your stay now at pearlriverresort.com. C Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. With C Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and Samsung Galaxy S26 for free and a free smartwatch and tablet to go with it. So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C Spire store today. C Spire, inspired by you.
Hadad's favorite topic, the NCAA. But I think Hadad will agree with me on this one.
Well, this is just this is absolute, utter ridiculousness.
Some of one of the stupidest things that has happened in college sports lately, among the incredible volume of stupidity that has occurred lately in college sports, the NCAA somehow managed to, and they've doubled down on this, by the way. They are not backing down on this. Arian Carter is a linebacker for Tennessee, and he's a stud football player, an elite linebacker, and a lot of fun to watch play. He's been suspended for the first 2 games of the season by the NCAA. The first game is Furman, I believe, the season opener, and then in week 2, they're facing Georgia Tech, a game that they absolutely can lose, right? That's a big game. It's a losable game, and he is a big piece to, if Tennessee's going to reach their ceiling as a team, he's going to be a big reason why. True impact player. He will be missing that game. They've appealed it down to 2 games. So the suspension was initially bigger than 2 games, and they've appealed it down to 2. So this is final. At least, I guess, unless Tennessee wants to pursue legal action, which it sounds like they might. But we'll see. What did he get suspended for, Michael?
Gosh, must have killed a guy the way the NCAA goes right now.
Because after last season, he was considering and was going to go to the NFL. He was going to go. He was done playing college. He was going to go. And in the pre-draft process, his agent paid for a flight for him to a pre-draft training facility. The cost of the flight was $427. You might be thinking, Michael, wait a minute. There's more to it than that. Nope. Not $427,000. No. Which, by the way, that's on the low end of an SEC superstar contract that they're getting paid by the school anyway. $427 for a one-way plane ticket to a pre-draft facility paid for by his agent. And, oh, by the way, he paid the money back.
Yes.
He paid the agent back for the flight, and the NCAA somehow, some way, suspended him for 3 games, and they reduced it down to 2 because out of the kindness of their heart. We have players with 7-figure contracts. A lot of them. And players with 7-figure contracts on almost every team in the SEC. I know Ole Miss has more than one. LSU certainly has more than one, as does Texas and Georgia and South Carolina and Texas A&M. I don't know if Mississippi State has two. I wouldn't be surprised if they have one.
They have a couple.
Vanderbilt certainly has. I mean, look, that's what we're talking about here. Players with $1 million+ contracts. That's all good. That's fine. But a guy gets a flight paid for and then pays it back. And he has to miss 2 games, including one against Georgia Tech in his last season. On what planet is that just?
Yeah. We got somebody here on the text line who is, I'm engaging with a troll. I know full well I am, but he's like, well, do you want rules or not? What's your monetary threshold? If it gets paid back, there is no monetary threshold. If he paid this and then I paid it back. By the way, if this sounds familiar to some people here in the state of Mississippi, I will remind you of Kevin Fant and the Tires that got paid for, and then he paid back, and then he got suspended for a game. So, nothing's changed in 23 years, I guess. It's just, this is just silly. The only word to describe this is silly.
There needs to be somebody at the NCAA that says, hey, like a judge that uses their own discretion. Hey, if he paid it back, guys, come on. He paid it back.
They were going to allow a player who gambled on his own team to play. They were going to do that.
Yep.
They were not having a problem with that. But this is worth a 2-game. By the way, why can't the player pick his 2 games the way coaches can?
It's a great question. Well, we'll keep on this for a little bit. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
Communication system is a go. This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi. Exactly.
Couple questions of why an agent would pay for a flight for him, because that's what they do.
So they just do.
That's what they do. That's what a good agent does. Takes care of his client. Like, hey, brother, I've got this set up for you. It's a great place. I'll fly you out there next week. Get on the plane and go. It's part of it. I mean, that's their job.
Part of their job, yeah.
And we'll get to some of these messages because there are good points in there. There are. It's the monetary threshold that is problematic to me. Jackson Dart, for example, had an endorsement deal with a airline, a private jet company, where he got to fly wherever he wanted, paid for. Like, that is what players have now. And to suspend one for this is nonsense. I mean, it's like taking somebody to prison for driving 75 in a 70. The punishment does not fit the crime. If you want to, fine him, okay. Sure, he has to write a $1,000 check to the NCAA's General Scholarship Fund. Okay, sure. I'm fine with that. He's a professional athlete. Sure, make it $2,000. Sure, I don't care. But when you have what you have in this sport, and you are suspending a player for getting a flight paid for and then returning the money, paying for that, the penalty does not fit the crime at all. No. That's the point here. If he was, I can't even think of something that would warrant a 2-game suspension in this era anyway. Like, what could a player possibly do from a financial perspective that is bad in the player payment era? I don't get it.
I was trying to think, what was Harbaugh? What were the official things that he was suspended for? Like, he broke a ton of NCAA rules, right? And he got a 3-game suspension? This is one thing, money that was paid back, and we're going to give this kid two games. Yeah, I can't get on board with that. I just can't.
There really needs to be, it's just common sense. And I saw somebody point out earlier, and I think they're right. it's not surprising that on basically the final day of the Save College Sports Act, as they're trying to get that submitted and ready, which, by the way, it's not going to happen, the NCAA does a muscle flexing. That's not surprising that those two things are going on at the same time to me. Maybe I'm overthinking that, but that strikes me as intentional.
And some people are asking, why did he, and you mentioned another reason that he paid for the flight, he thought he might be going to the NFL.
Yeah.
So once he realized, hey, I'm going to come back to college, I need to pay that money back. Because he was just going to the NFL. If he had decided to go pro, then the agent would have just taken it off the top of his first contract or whatever. It's $400. The agent would probably been like, this is chump change. What do I care? But because he decided to come back and the NCAA rule is what it is, he paid it back. That should be enough.
Yes.
You took this money, yes, but you paid it back, yes, in a timely fashion, yes.
Good
Done.
to go. Good to go. And, these are apples to oranges, kind of more like apples to beach balls, I guess. But, there are two LSU players that are essentially, if you read Pete Nakos' reporting last night, in violation of the NCAA by not paying back their buyouts. They're going to play, and by the way, I'm fine with that. If this gets tied up in court and they haven't paid it back, I'm okay with them taking the field for LSU, so long as the process plays itself out. That doesn't bother me one bit. Principal should be able to start game one, even if he hasn't paid back the money yet. I'm cool with that. So you've got that out there. Players in debts of $500,000, and that's good to go.
NCAA, as I've always said, is like the game, whose line is it anyway? The rules are made up and the points don't matter.
So this guy's, he's claiming he's not a troll, but I want to address this angle. If anybody thinks that, he said, y'all complain if the NCAA enforces, you complain if they don't, make up your mind. You gripe that it's not Congress's place, then gripe when the NCAA tries. Give us all the solution if you have it. Have some common sense when you're punishing people. That's it. Have some common sense. It's a $400 flight that he paid back. Yeah. Is that really worth a 2-game suspension?
It's not. The answer is no, it isn't. So I just.
Somebody says, doesn't matter what happens if he didn't pay it back. Splitting hairs, he knew it was a violation. All there is to it. And
did you just miss what I said about he thought he was going to go pro, and so in that case it wouldn't be a violation? But when he realized he was coming back, he's like, I got to pay this back.
And the thing is, this is a level 3 violation, and this is an overly harsh
punishment. Since when has a level 3 violation been worth a 2-game suspension?
Never.
It's
a complete overexertion.
Those news dumps every year where, we find out that Ole Miss and Mississippi State had 20 level 3 violations where a coach spoke to a recruit in the wrong place and it cost him a visit or something. It's never a 2-game suspension is for level 1 stuff. You took money under the table. You had personal conduct issues. You got a DUI. That's what 2-game suspensions are for. They're not for you borrowed money and paid it back. It's just silly.
Kirk Ferentz got suspended 1 game for being caught tampering. Michigan's head coach. They got caught sign stealing, cheating, recording. Literally cheating the game, and the punishment was the same.
Mm-hmm. Someone's asking them to self-report this. Probably.
Yeah, because it's a level 3. You report it. He paid it back. Maybe you have to make some donation.
You do that.
And move on.
You're thinking that's a level 3 violation. He paid the money back, no problem. And then the NCAA hits you with this. And by the way, this is the other side of this equation. Is like the NCAA, which is letting everything go these days. Nobody is following any rules. But this is where they decide they need to enforce themselves. This is where they got to decide why. What about this guy, this player, this situation made it so important? You've let everything else slide. You were going to let professional basketball players come back to college and play basketball. Guys who have played in the NBA, we're going to let you come back and play college basketball. But this guy has to be suspended. Why this? Nobody can answer that.
They can't. And that's why if the Save College Sports Act gets passed, it won't. But if it did, these would still be the clowns in charge. It would still be these people. It would not be a true restructuring of the sport. It would be status quo. And honestly, is this what we want? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we just addressed this, but what's the penalty for being late to your tee time in a PGA Tour tournament? It's 2 strokes. Yeah. I've seen Ian Woosnam get a 2-stroke penalty because his caddy left 1 extra club in his bag. Okay, sure. This crime, even though it's not illegal,
this violation,
the precedent is it's a level 3, your compliance staff has to sit through an hour seminar, and everybody moves on. So that would be like, what was it, Garrick Higo at the U.S. Open, when he was late to his tee time, he got a 2-stroke penalty. That would be like, for some reason, the USGA saying, actually, it's a 7-stroke penalty this time. Why? Because I said so. That's why. It's abandoning precedent. That's the issue. It's a complete abandonment of precedent. We read those articles every so often where Ole Miss and State self-report level 3s, and we kind of get a laugh out of them. Like, oh, the golf coach gave an extra piece of cake to a player. That's a level 3 violation. Yeah. And we all get a good laugh because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Level 2 violations don't even result in this.
Yeah.
Again, I think this is an apt comparison. It's like having to go to jail for going 75 and a 70. That's what this is. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Tennessee is livid, and they should be. I don't know what they do next, but they appealed, and again, they got it reduced from 3 to 2.
Yeah.
But he's still missing the Georgia Tech game.
Again,
total nonsense.
That's the other side of this that I don't understand is why are players not allowed to pick the games they're suspended the way coaches are? Especially when we're talking about, like, it was for NCAA violations. So the violations are going through the same process. Why are the suspensions not the same? Shouldn't he be able to say, okay, I'm going to sit out against, let me pull up
Furman? I'll say Furman game.
Furman and Kennesaw State.
Sure.
Those are the games I'm going to miss.
That's what Michigan got to do.
Yeah. Why is it different? I don't understand.
Crazy. It's just crazy town.
Yeah.
It's what this is. There's enforcement, appropriate enforcement, and then there's an overreach of power, and that's what this is.
When we come back, Cole Cubelic's going to join us, the SEC Network and ESPN. We're going to talk about actual football. We're going to get away from this.
Lines of scrimmage is his expertise. I'm looking forward to
We'll talk a little bit about that for sure when we come back. Cole Cublic will join us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Just getting started with you here on a Wednesday. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Jumping. That's right, you got me shaking. Oh, you got me shaking. That's right, you got me nervous. Put down them shaking. Oh, you got me shaking. Yeah.
Mattress Clear, Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
Sports Talk Mississippi, covering your Mississippi teams.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Don't touch that dial. Here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Here in just a few moments, we'll be visiting with Cole Cublic, WJOX SEC Network. We didn't get a chance to visit with him last week in Tampa, and he promised a makeup day, so we'll be doing that here very shortly. With the great Cole Cublic. On the text line, somebody says NCAA stands for no common sense adults around.
Well,
I love that one.
We need the old Brian Bosworth. Sure, the national communist against, communist is a big word right now. People are communism making a huge comeback, as I see. But the national communist against athletes, I believe, is what the Boz put on his shirt when he was suspended from the Orange Bowl, and I guess that was 1985. I guess I don't remember. I'll have to, my college football memory. I guess I better get my college football memory going because Borkey's going to test me in about 90 minutes. So we'll do that. We'll go now to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Our friend Cole Cublelic, who we were glad to see him at SEC Media Days. Weren't able to get him on, but he said he came over to find us. He was like, guys, call me next week. Be happy to join you. Thanks for doing that, Cole. I want to start here. What was more surprising to you? Ole Miss being picked third overall in the conference with a new head coach, or Mississippi State with a quarterback that everybody seems to be really high on being picked 15th?
I'm going to go with Ole Miss being picked third, only because I'm surprised that the people voted it that way. I kind of came away from media days thinking, man, nobody's talking about Ole Miss. I mean, you've got a running back that you're going to be able to lean on, a quarterback that's won multiple playoff games. You've got maybe the second best defensive line in the SEC, veteran-laced offensive line. You hit receiver in the portal. You got a big-time tight end room. And I heard no one talking about Ole Miss going to the playoffs, Ole Miss maybe winning the SEC, going to the SEC championship game. The computers despise Ole Miss for whatever reason. I didn't know computers took in changing head coaches the way that apparently they do.
Lane Kiffin,
but I mean, the FPI's got them picked to. Yeah, the FPI's got them picked to win like 7.2 games. And when we ran a graphic when I was on the desk at SEC Network, and it was chances to make the college football playoff, I don't even think Ole Miss was on the page. And then chances to make the SEC championship game, I think there were 7 or 8 other teams ahead of them. So I actually came away from media. I don't know, I hate to say disrespected, because I don't think people are really doing it intentionally. I just think people become enamored with Oklahoma or LSU or Alabama, obviously Georgia, Texas. But I was just surprised, and Chris Doring and I both agreed with it, just the lack of buzz for Ole Miss, when I feel like there should be plenty based on what they have returning.
You heard from Pete Golding, and you heard him say that the difference between going to the national championship and not was the lines of scrimmage, and he thinks that they have addressed that. Do you agree? Do you think that Ole Miss is good enough on the lines of scrimmage to get back to that point and maybe, step across that threshold and play for a championship?
Like I said, I think second best defensive line in the SEC right now. There's potentially a chance that, say, maybe a Georgia could pass them, a Texas could pass them during the course of the season with some of the younger talent they have. I mean, LSU apparently has 2 5-star D tackles that are going to destroy college football. So if that happens, maybe they jump them. But right now, I mean, I'll take Cam Franklin, Will Eccles, and Taryn Perkins being on the line of scrimmage a little bit more. Jaheim Otis being added. I'd put them ahead of everybody other than Oklahoma right this second. And then I just think you have veterans on the offensive line, and like I said, a good tight end group that I think is going to be able to help. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination we're going to be talking about this offensive line as dominant or one that's just bullying people or pushing them around, but John David Baker has an offense that can circumvent that to an extent. So he can find ways to manipulate things, move yards, create space without having a group that's got to move you 2 or 3 yards against your will off the football.
Mississippi State on the offensive line, I've talked to Lebby a lot of times, and he's always been pretty honest about his groups. And so he's very optimistic about this offensive line group that he has. A lot of young guys. There's not a lot of proven talent in there. They don't have to be world beaters for State to be improved this year. Would you like the group that State brought in there? Do you feel confident they can at least be average?
Oh, absolutely. I think he went and got guys that have physical traits that fit what they need to be or what he wants them to be, and probably just looks at it as multiple individuals that are a better fit for how they want to operate. And I think when you have that, you have more confidence that your group's going to be able to go out and accomplish things on a more consistent basis. But you're right. They're going to utilize tempo. They're obviously going to utilize spacing and pushing the ball down the field to be able to create lighter boxes and be able to allow that offensive line to be more successful. Getting the ball out quick is going to help them in pass protection. So there are a lot of ways that they can utilize what their offense does and what their offense is to be able to help that offensive line as well.
I did a preview interview today about LSU, and the question I had for my guy there was, outside of Seton, it seems like that's a group that's going to have competition throughout the fall. We're all so high on LSU. I think they're going to be really good, but that is a question mark for them, that LSU offensive line. Do you like the group they have?
I mean, I love that. And Jordan Seton, I think physically he's as gifted as any offensive lineman in college football. I love the way he moves. I love how athletic he is. I mean, I think there are still some inconsistencies in his game as a blocker that he can improve upon. And, yeah, you got a returning center coming back that's played some center and guard for you that's going to add a nice anchor. But, you go out and add some other pieces that, I mean, I think I could be okay. The kid from Maryland that they're getting, I think's a good player. I don't think he's, a bona fide dominant offensive lineman by any stretch of the imagination. Once again, some of the things we mentioned with Ole Miss and with Mississippi State, LSU can operate in a similar fashion in that they'll use tempo, they'll use spacing, they'll use matchups, motion to be able to create things with that group. A lot of zone scheme stuff. They'll use a lot of misdirection, eye candy to be able to help the offensive line out. I get a little bit frustrated with people that when talking about the Ole Miss offensive or talking about the LSU offensive line, talking about the Alabama offensive line, talking about the Oklahoma offensive line, when they say, well, it can't get worse. And there's about 60 offensive lines in college football I can show them from last year that were worse. So if that is your mindset going in, and that's the way I hear people excuse it with some of these teams where offensive lines are question mark, well, it can't be worse than last year. Be careful what you wish for, or be careful what you hypothesize, because sometimes maybe it can, sometimes maybe it will be worse.
Texas on the schedule for both Mississippi State and Ole Miss this year. Is that the most talented roster top to bottom in the conference this year?
I would say, yeah, I don't know how. I mean, you could argue a couple of others maybe, but the way we view talent, just, what you're going to do at the combine with your height, weight, size, yeah, probably. But does that make them all the best football players? No. They've had guys from a football player perspective at certain positions that I may take over some guys they have coming back this year. I think the main takeaway with Texas is this. You had multiple players that had been very productive for you at multiple positions, and you let them walk, and you were able to upgrade. That doesn't happen for a lot of schools. Like, there's not a lot of schools that can allow a C.J. Baxter to leave, a DeAndre Moore to leave. We're talking like 1,000-yard backs, 1,000-yard receivers that led the team in receptions or rushes or rushing yards, like a Contravian Wisner, who's going to go to Florida State this year, and actually upgrade with a Cam Coleman or a Hollywood Smothers. Like, they got more juice at those positions. So that's, I think, what people look at, and just like the ceiling of a lot of the players that they have across their roster, probably higher than anybody else in the SEC, maybe higher than anybody else in the country, top to bottom.
Just a couple minutes left, Cole. What about your alma mater, the Auburn Tigers? I really like Coach Golish. I think I love a coach who's aggressive and plays with tempo the way that he does. I'm interested to see how bringing all of these guys over from South Florida works in year one. I'm not trying to put the pressure on him, but is it a Cignetti situation where familiarity is going to breed instant success, or do you think that might be a bit of a process in a year or two before they can really get going at Auburn?
Well, I think it definitely puts them ahead of the curve. I know that. And it gives them a nice head start, because what you look at is continuity in chemistry is essentially an issue in all of college football right now. So how do you get ahead of that? Familiarity. Having guys that have played snaps together, having guys that have run the same system together, run the same scheme together. They've gone out and they've done their pass scale and their 7-on-7 in the off seasons and worked together. Auburn's going to have that. I mean, Byron Brown's going to have tight ends, centers, guards, wide receivers that he has played with, running backs that he's played with, that he has completed passes to, hand footballs off to, run fakes through, heard snap counts with. Like, he's done all that. And with where we are in today's college football, Brian, that puts you way ahead of the curve. The question for Auburn will be this. They'll be ahead of schedule when fall camp opens. And they'll be ahead of schedule probably in the first game or two of the season. But let's say once we get to the Florida game, what can they take from that and stack on it? What can they add to it? Where can they build more of it? What can they build off of that? I think, to me, that's the biggest question mark of what they can be when you're talking about the entire season. What kind of a season can they put together? Can they get to 8? Can they get to 9? That's going to be the difference. And you still need a couple playmakers to show up on defense. I mean, there's some new faces on that side of the ball. I love the scheme. I love the guy calling it. But he's got to have a couple guys step up for him and be able to make plays, because they had some guys do that a season ago. But I'm with you. I'm a fan of Alex Golish. I like him. I think it's a great hire. I think he has the temperament for today's college football. He's no nonsense, but he's relatable. He gets it. He understands. He's flexible, which I think you're seeing more and more guys that are having to be more and more flexible. It can't just be this is my system, my way or the highway. You got to
Right.
find a way to fit your talent in that you can get this day and age.
Cole Cublelic, appreciate your time, man. Always awesome to talk football with you.
Hey, are you guys feeling good about yourselves since you got the stamp of approval from Richard?
I listen to it at work.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Did you get that memo?
Yes, sir.
So I hate to tell you guys this, but, I mean, this is just what happened. Sorry, football's canceled. We're not having football this year. It's over. Brian Brzee likely out for the season for the Saints after tearing his ACL in the first practice of training camp. So football's canceled. It's over. Sorry. No football talk on this show. We're on to basketball season.
No, we aren't. We're already on to baseball.
We're on to baseball season. I mean, he's not irreplaceable. He's been good, not elite. They've got other good pieces in that room. Xavier Harris, here's your chance to make a roster, buddy. I mean, here it is. Here's your window. They'll go out and pick somebody up, maybe. But, man, does that stink out loud. They just picked up his fifth-year option, a couple weeks ago, a month ago or so? Something like that. And day one of practice.
And somebody made a good point. This is why Olave is sitting out. Yep. He wants another contract, so why risk it? Why risk taking an injury here? Sit out. They're about to give him a new deal. It's fine.
Yeah, I liked what Kellen Moore had to say today about that. Basically, no, we're good. No problems. He's going through individual drills and 7-on-7s. We're good. Okay, I'll trust you, Coach. Can't have Olave holding out.
No, we don't need that.
The vibes are incredibly high, and that concerns me. And I hate being that, because I hate when fans say that, we always play better when we're not ranked. No, you don't. That's cope is what that is. I feel like I'm in the cope stage of everybody is feeling too good about the team, and I need to get knocked down a peg or two. I need to be humbled. I need them to have a really bad first preseason game.
Yeah.
Just play like crap. I know it's all the backups, but
I did see a tweet today though that said Tua battling an injury, and I was like, guys, you just keep that in your drafts. That's evergreen. Tua battling an injury. I mean, that's every season. Doesn't matter the team. So.
No, I mean, it really is. If you want to feel better about yourself, Mr. Brian Hadad, what?
So I can't wait to hear who is going to host discussion.
Oh my gosh! I put question marks. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
He's talking about baseball.
Hey, here we go.
Start.
Who's your 8 for Omaha?
Mississippi State, and I'll figure out the other 7.
That's my bad, Shaq Bully. I can't critically think, and so that's why I responded with question marks. I am really excited though. It was fun to see videos of Tyler Shuck throwing the football and just guys running around and. I mean, like Vikings fans, they got a hit of dopamine when the first play of team drills was a Kyler Murray 60-yard bomb for a touchdown. Beautifully thrown pass. Beautifully thrown pass.
I mean, that's all you want. You just want to. This is the time where I just want to see the highlights.
Yep.
I don't need to watch the full. I'm not trying to break down film here. I just want to see Tyler Shuck hitting Chris Olave in stride. I want to see Travis Etienne catching a ball out in the flat and breaking a couple tackles and taking it for a big gain. I want to see Cam Jordan coming off the end and pulling up right before he gets to Tyler Shuck and getting ready for another year. I did not want to know about Brian Brzee getting hurt. That was bad.
No, that was bad. But they did just draft a defensive tackle who, remember, yesterday he paid for an unexpecting woman's groceries yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so you love that.
He's going to have to deliver twice in 1 week, apparently.
Apparently so. And then again, I mean, truly, in all seriousness, Xavier Harris got picked up by the Saints. You are good enough to be on an NFL roster.
Yeah.
They had questions about motor. They had questions about your ability to be a pro in the locker room. Here's your opportunity right here to go make a team. Because, I mean, raw talent, good enough to have been drafted early, but there's the question marks.
Yeah.
Go answer them, and you'll be a Saint this year. Period. So.
Yeah, if he has a good camp, he'll have a great chance to make that right. This opened up a spot. I'm sure that's what Kellen Moore's message was to his team. Like, guys, this happens. It's next man up, and time to see who wants to be here and who doesn't.
Yes, sir. Did you see Alvin Kamara? Well, we got to visit with Jeff Duncan, not on the air, but I got to talk to him for a while this week at Media Days, and he wrote a column about Alvin Kamara and the Saints need to move on and stuff like that. And he asked Kamara today at his press conference, because of the off-season noise, are you, forgive my language, everybody, are you pissed off? And Alvin points at him and goes, I'll answer that question from any one of you, not him. Like, any of you ask me that, not that guy.
Yeah. Well, the LeBron.
Yeah, he did
not
LeBron.
You. Anyone but you.
When we come back.
Top 5?
Top 5 time.
All right.
We'll do that when we return after the news. Your top 5.
Do you have the music queued up?
If you send me yours quickly, and I can get there.
All right.
Send me yours quickly, and I can get there. Just text it to me, and I'll take it from there.
All right.
And
I'm going to send a Twitter DM.
That should work. Okay. Top 5 stadium anthems when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi, Hour 1 in the books. Pearl River Resort Studio is where we are, and we're glad that you guys are with us. We'll be back.
Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Sports Talk Mississippi. Yeah! On Super Talk Mississippi.
Back here on Sports Talk Mississippi, Brian Hadad and Michael Borkey. We are in the Pearl River Resort Studios. The C-Spire text line is always open to you at 601-879-4395. We're halfway through the week. You're already looking ahead. You're already thinking right now. Gotta get out there and mow the grass this weekend. It's summer. Grass is working it. What do I got to do? I got to fight back. Well, it's time to hit the biggest arsenal of them all, and that's at your local Ag Up. When we're talking about some John Deere green. Nothing strikes fear into the heart of your grass like a John Deere mower or commercial tractor. So scare your grass, baby. Get out there and talk about our friends at Ag Up. They're going to take care of you. They're going to get you a great piece of equipment right for your property, more importantly, right for your budget. And if you're thinking about the big one, the John Deere compact tractor, 0% financing right now on all 1 through 4 series models. Ag Up Equipment and John Deere, built for what's next. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Top 5 time.
I am shocked that we have 10 different songs.
We do. Great.
We have 10
That's good stuff.
Different songs, but send yours in. I want to hear from you. Stadium anthems, and that can go a lot of different directions. One of mine is, it's a great song, but I like it because when it's played in the stadium, everybody sings to it, so it's not necessarily like a pump-up song, but it's more when you get 80,000 people all singing.
Did you put Country Roads on here?
I did not put Country Roads in here.
All right. All right, well, you start. You're
okay.
Excited.
But that is not my number 5, although I'm disappointed in myself for this one being my number 5. My number 5 favorite stadium anthem.
That's a good one.
Van Halen's Right Now. And
good choice.
When they play this, like as the team's done warming up, and the last thing that every team does is a punter kicks a ball up in the air.
Yeah.
The team huddles. And it's like every stadium plays this song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got like 15 minutes until kickoff when you hear this right here.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5.
Very good.
It takes a little while to get going, but
yeah, but everybody knows
this song.
This isn't really it either. It's like another couple beats here before we get there. So,
but still,
that's a great choice.
That's my number 5.
All right, mine is kind of a personal favorite. You had to be there kind of thing. If you ever went to a game at Alabama, this is the song they play at halftime when the teams are coming back on the field.
So that brings back good memories?
No. But I thought it's just hilarious. This is Harvester of Sorrow by Metallica. And if anything described what it was like to play a Nick Saban Alabama team, here it is.
Man,
what a great name for a song to pick if you're going to play Alabama. Harvester of Sorrow. A lot of tears shed over at Bryant-Denny Stadium through the decades with Nick Saban. That was just a personal choice of mine. I went with that.
I mean, it's a great song.
Yeah.
All right, here is my number 4, and this is the song that it's not because it's a pump-up song. It's because when you've got a whole crowd singing this right here, especially for my millennial generation. Good choice. I believe Michigan does this every game.
They do. Which, yeah, I got to admit, though, this is a song about a guy getting cheated on.
It is.
Like
Michigan cheaters, guy getting cheated on. Yeah.
I guess that's the tie-in there. Yeah, Harbaugh is Mr. Brightside.
But it's just the price I pay. Give me a few beers and I'm singing this as loud as I possibly can.
Yeah. That's a good choice, Mr. Brightside. Glad that you brought a Christian rock song.
I know, Christian rock band, The Killers.
Yeah, very good. My number 4.
I was surprised to see this on here.
Give it to me.
Hey, there's no words.
Oh, there can't be any words. So Mississippi State plays an organ version of this song, and I love to sing it slow. It's like, I've got calling. I love to do that. It's Mo Bamba, Sheck West. If you played, when I first fired up NCAA football 25, and like 2 minutes in the game I heard this, I was like, oh, Mo Bamba? Yes. And then every college team kind of picked up on it because when you play the game, if it's in the game, it's in the game. So, Mo Bamba, Sheck West, that has become a massive stadium anthem over the last 4 years. You didn't think I'd go there, huh?
I didn't. When you do your college football YouTube deep dives, there is a video. All of you out there need to go watch this. This is nuts. I don't think I've ever respected a stadium more than I did Penn State when they pulled this off. So, it was when Shea Patterson was at Michigan. And they're playing at Penn State, and it's the sky cam footage of what is supposed to be the first snap of the game. Mm-hmm. And so right when they're coming back from commercial, that song hits. Okay. And so the whole stadium's singing it, and then they turn it just into crowd noise. Mm-hmm. And Michigan can't communicate even things like motions, and they have to call a timeout before the first snap of the game. And you can feel, because the Skycam, I guess, really picks up audio and feeling.
Yeah, it's shaky.
Oh, it's amazing. And it's because of that song that sparked this. And Michigan had to call timeout before they took a snap in the game because of that song and Penn State's crowd. It was nuts. Speaking of specific schools, you don't really hear this anywhere else but one place. It hits a little close to home.
Oh.
But when South Carolina does sandstorm.
Do I have a towel?
Mississippi State fans, if you make the trip, you're going to hate this song. They go, USC, 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 and they're waving the towels.
Yeah. They're the only school that has 2 songs. They have this, and they have 2000. They have, also Sprack Zarathustra is the official name there. But the theme from 2001. They get 2 songs. How do they pull that off? They're not good enough to do that. So there you go. All right, that's your number 3?
That's number 3.
All right, number 3 for me, just another personal fave. Shout out to my cousin, Steven. He loves this song. Go.
This is supposed to be the clean version, so hopefully so.
1, 2, 3. Hit me with the horn, 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? I don't remember who sings this. I just know the name of the song.
DJ Cool.
DJ Cool. All right. Let me clear my throat. No stadium in America doesn't play this at least once every football or basketball game. It's a part of the required reading at this point.
They used to play this on the radio.
Yeah. I'm old enough to remember when it came out on MTV, and there was a video.
Little 8-year-old me in the car was singing,
bobbing along to it, and your dad's like, what is this mess? Let me clear my throat. Why don't you clear your throat when you speak up? Act like a man. Anyway, yeah, let me clear my throat. We're going to go with that. number 3 for me.
That's a great one.
All right.
It really is a great choice. All right, I'm already down to number 2.
Yeah.
This is also a nod to Penn State.
Oh.
Here we are, Penn State. I think Ole Miss is doing that too now with the We Are Ole Miss thing. But Penn State is where I heard it first, at least.
Yeah, everybody does.
And that place, I keep bragging on Penn State today. I don't know why.
Tell the name.
I don't particularly like them.
Yeah.
But man, their stadium environment is insane.
Awesome. What's the name of the song?
Zombie Nation.
That's right. First time I ever heard this was Central Florida, the Liberty Bowl. Their band played it even. Like, that was like their big song. It's like, guys, this is your big song? It's Zombie Nation? Zombie Nation or Sandstorm? So you ranking Zombie Nation above Sandstorm?
I am. Because Zombie
that's
Station...
controversial.
Because Zombie Nation, other stadiums play it. So, if you want to hear Sandstorm in a stadium, you got to go to South Carolina.
No, that's not true. They play it at Davis Wade all the time.
Do they really?
Yes.
Oh, that's South Carolina's thing. You can't do that.
It's not their thing.
It's their thing.
Sandstorm has been played for
That'd be
decades.
like South Carolina ringing cowbells.
South Carolina, Sandstorm has played at all sorts of stadiums.
Yeah,
Everybody
but that's
plays
their
Sandstorm.
thing. When you hear Sandstorm, you think South Carolina. They are Sandstorm.
They use it, but I wouldn't say. I mean,
they are Sandstorm.
You can go back and look. People, they've been playing Sandstorm at sporting events for like longer than South Carolina started playing it. That started with that game against Texas A&M, right? Is that when it was when they first really started?
When it really became
it took off,
there, yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. All right. So, this is my number 2?
I'm going to try to fast forward a little bit because it does take a second.
No, I want to hear the opening riff. Yeah, there we go. You'll hear this song about an hour and 50 minutes from now, too. Maybe it's just the bell that gets me, being who I am.
Oh, I mean, it just... These guys...
This is the third down song. This is third down. Get the bell.
Clank, 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 clank. Yeah.
It's Hell's Bells by AC/DC. And lovers of pork rind nachos. AC/DC.
Man, these guys just knew how to make stadium rock. It's
just the best. This is the best AC/DC song. I know everybody loves Shook Me All Night Long, but this is the best AC/DC song, in my opinion. So, yes, third down, I want to hear that bell playing. And that's how I know it's time to get ready and get up. So, when we come back, our number 1 stadium anthems on today's Top 5, Sports Talk Mississippi. Back in just a minute.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. A sampling of the text line before we get to our number 1s. Borkey, your number 4 was horrible on the text line. If Mr. Brightside, an entire stadium singing that song doesn't move you, you are unable to be moved.
You're immovable.
You're immovable. Let's see. Somebody says, Jocks, it's going down, plays, and the VOD is absolutely unhinged. Vote for Love is Gone, fourth quarter at Ole Miss. I like that. I think the stroke, that's a better one. The stroke man. I think that's cooler.
Ole Miss does that?
They've been doing it for a few years.
Okay.
I mean, I know Georgia baseball does that, and State fans, you saw that in the Super Regional. But I like that song better. Yeah. Somebody says Ole Miss does play Mr. Brightside quite often, a la Lane Kiffin. I don't know if he had musical influence. He probably did. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much Taylor Swift got played in the stadium. So he says, for a fact, Sandstorm was played in Oxford last year. I wouldn't do it. If
everybody plays Sandstorm.
But it's South Carolina.
You can't have a claim on a song that everybody else plays.
Well, I hear you. And I guess somebody pointed out they started that when Ole Miss played there in 2009. I should remember that. I was at that game, and a group of us got in trouble for going to that game the day before we had a game ourselves. A lot of us got in trouble for that. Mm-hmm. But it's their thing. Right. When you hear Sandstorm, what do you think? South Carolina. It's the first thing you think.
See,
it is the first thing you think.
It isn't the first thing I think.
What do you think?
I think of my friend Bob Carskadden, who every time Mississippi State would play Sandstorm would tweet Sandstorm. And he was doing that 12, 13, 14 years ago. So it's just always been a thing.
Yeah. I'm acknowledging the other stadiums have played it.
Darude didn't write that song specifically for South Carolina.
But they have taken it and made it a staple of their thing.
It has become their pregame tradition. But by that same token, State plays For Whom the Bell Tolls before every game. Can nobody else play that?
I do think that
my number one gets played in every stadium.
Yeah. I think mine does as well. Right, so speaking of...
What is yours?
Seven Nation Army.
That's a good choice.
The White Stripes, Jack White.
I didn't think that's where you were going to go.
Where'd you think I was going to go?
Jump around.
See, that's a Wisconsin thing. I do like that
one.
But
I will grant that that's... But again, everybody plays Jump Around. They've turned it into something else. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It's not the song. It's that they're waving the towels and chanting. It's that they're jumping when Jump Around is played. That's what it is. So that's a good one. As for me, just call me old-fashioned. Just call me an old rock and roll fan. But this is the one, right?
Great choice.
Yeah. Oh, it takes me back. Sitting in the locker room on Grove Street, getting ready to go across the field to play some football. What was in my cassette player with my headphones? The Metallica Black Album.
Heck,
Inner Sandman. Yes, that's my number one for sure. That's the best one.
There's a video that I'm going to save and watch later. That long walk that ESPN did, I think before they played Ohio State.
Yeah.
They followed Virginia Tech from the locker room.
Oh, there's a bunch of those on there.
And it's such a long walk for them, but just the build up into... It did crack me up, though. So Metallica played on the 50 at the stadium there in Blacksburg, and it became readily apparent that Virginia Tech fans actually don't know the words of the song because they would stop to get them to sing, and they weren't singing.
What is it?
Like, all we do is jump, guys. I don't know. Great choice.
I don't know what that is. So.
Great choice.
Wow.
Won't be able to use the segment on YouTube because the music, but that's okay.
No. It will get blocked. The actual podcast will get blocked on YouTube as well, probably. That's okay. We don't care. You were listening. You heard it.
That's exactly right. All right. To the text line. Somebody says I got smoked on that list. Well, that's just a matter of your opinion. Although he did have a good one. He did have a good one. I mean, when stadiums sing any song, really, it's awesome. I mean, Ole Miss fans have been singing freaking Dancing Queen, and it sounds cool. Like, what's that movie, Mamma Mia?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that song is from. If there's any song that encapsulates Lane Kiffin more, Dancing Queen is pretty great. But when 67,000 people are singing that song and they're drunk and happy as the clock's winding down on a win, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mr. Brightside, so a lot of you are older than me, I guess, because Mr. Brightside, when I was growing up, was like...
That's a huge song.
The song.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody I know knows every word of that song. And so when you hit play in the stadium and you're a few beers deep and your team's winning and that comes on and everybody's singing, it rules.
Yeah.
Florida won't back down. Yeah, man.
It's a good choice.
It's really cool.
Very recent after the passing of Tom Petty, but they turned that into a really cool tradition.
When Wisconsin was good, the jump around at Camp Randall was top notch. I mean, you had to flip the TV over just to make sure you saw it.
Yeah.
It was appointment viewing.
That's a good one. It's a really good one.
I have a pet peeve about Wisconsin, by the way. Their band uniforms.
Oh, with the big, it looks like an M.
There's 4 points, though, so it's a big W, but there is 4, go look at their band uniforms. I don't know how to explain this other than that. It looks like it's 2 U's next to each other. It's not a W. There's 4.
2 Utes? What is a Ute?
But that's what it looks like.
No, I've always thought it looked like an M.
It drives me nuts.
It looks like it's upside down.
But there's still the extra thing.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the Mississippi State A, this drives me far less nuts, is off center.
It's off center.
It's off center.
Yeah.
That also kind of drives me crazy. Somebody says Dancing Queen during the Georgia game in 2004 was nuts at the Ole Miss game. Yeah, it's raining. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're making the playoff because Micah Davis hadn't happened yet, and all was well that day. Somebody says LSU's neck. Oh, I have an opinion that LSU fans, as per my mentions around this time last year, hated to the point where things about my family were said to me. I think it's trash. And I don't, Ole Miss fans, you can disagree with me. When that was played in Vaught-Hemingway last year as the clock was winding down, or no, it was after the clock hit 0 anyway, at the end of that game to troll, I thought that was trash too. Chanting that phrase in a stadium is, I think that's trash.
You're such a prude. I've said far worse in a college football stadium. I promise.
I'm sure you have, but
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have too.
The entire stadium chanting that phrase.
Just happen to say it all at the same time.
That's trash.
Well,
that is trash.
Well, they love it, though.
Oh, no way. Sorry, Marty. Doesn't someone play Crazy Train? I bet every stadium does.
Everybody plays Crazy Train.
But I don't know if there's one place.
A lot of these are, that's kind of what I went with on mine, is these are things that you hear at every stadium. You go to any stadium in America, you will hear Mo Bamba. You will hear Hell's Bells. You will hear Enter Sandman. So it's not just localized to one thing. Like State does that Sweet Dreams remix. I think it's cool, but nobody else in the country is playing that. So is that a stadium anthem? I can't say that it is.
Somebody says, neck, not good, but calling Baton Rouge is pretty great. Yes, it is.
It's fine.
That sounds really cool when there's 100,000 people singing that right there.
That's the other thing I wanted, calling Baton Rouge, Dixieland Delight. Yes, these are songs although again, that's only it's kind of a local, right? Nobody else is playing Calling Baton Rouge. Nobody else is playing Dixieland Delight. But they're also a little slower. They're country songs. That didn't work for what was going on in my head. I'm just excited you didn't think I was going to pull Mo Bamba out, by the way.
I can't believe you did it. I'm proud of you.
I'm hip. Well, we had Carlo the other day was asking me about something, and he was trying to prove that I don't know anything about young people because he doesn't know anything about old people. And he asked me about a rapper, and I was like, talking about Lil Yachty. And he could not believe I knew who that was. But I do. I do know who that is. Like I said, I'm hip. I'm a hip old man. Something like that. Let's do a team with let's do 100 teams in 100 days when we come back.
I don't hate that. We did get a question earlier. There is a very short update to a story we talked about at the end of the show. So we'll give you that update. Again, it's very short, very brief. And then we'll get into the countdown. We have an SEC team today. And by the way, it is 31. That is the number today. 31. And we will go to the Southeastern Conference when we come back.
Nowadays.
Hey guys! What's happening? What the heck are you doing?
Sports Talk Mississippi on your radio and in the game. Sports Talk Mississippi.
So we talked about yesterday, Ole Miss officially having to take the legal route to get buyout money that is owed to them after 2 contracts were broken shortly after they were signed. Somebody asked earlier, has LSU commented? Have they released a statement? They chose to decline comment. So outlets that have been reporting on this asked LSU if they had a comment or a statement. They chose to decline comment. What does that mean? I don't know. I do know that they have had 5 months to pay this back before it went public. And after reading some reporting yesterday and just trying to critically think, it seems, Hadad, the call me crazy, but I don't think I'm crazy. This makes the most sense. Because if this would then be them trying to do some 4D chess move, it's not working. Because nationally, either people don't care or think that it should get paid back. Even some of their local media is like, hey, guys, I mean, what are you doing? You know? You told them that you would pay their buyout when they left. Everybody knew there was one. What are you doing? So that's not working if that's the plan. Or the NCAA rules, whether they're actually enforceable or not, the rules say that when you pay buyouts, it has to come out of your rev share total. What if they don't have the space to cover that amount? What if they've already promised these contracts and made commitments and they're having to find a way to get out of? That makes the most sense. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. There's this idea that some people that cover LSU say that, they'll just settle out of court for a lot less. What would be the incentive to do that? This has to be, by the terms of the contract, litigated in Mississippi? You really think that there's an incentive for Ole Miss to settle for a lot less out of court? No, there's not.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
So I don't know where this ends. I do think that LSU will find a way to pay and everybody will move on. But again, they have had 5 months. So there's this theory that Ole Miss just threw this at them out of nowhere. No, there's been 5 months of communication on this. So we'll see. But LSU has not given an actual answer for why not just yet. All right. I podcasted about that last night as well. If you want to hear extended thoughts, wherever you get your podcast, just search Rebel Report. Brian Hadad's going to be live for an extra hour today, but if you want Mississippi State every day in podcast form on top of this show, just search Thunder and Lightning wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah. But hey, we got to get to the SEC. We got to get to team number 31 on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days.
This day is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This day is bananas.
100 teams in 100 days.
Now, okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! It's the final countdown.
Team number 31. We go to the great state of Tennessee, Nashville to be specific. Coming off of a 10-win season, the Vanderbilt Commodores.
A sentence that may have never been uttered by any human being alive.
They did just that last season. They were a fun football team. And they had a fun quarterback. Everybody knew Diego Pavia, who, by the way, got cut recently by the Ravens. It's a shame that story ended the way it did, because he was kind of America's darling.
That is the first time that sentence has ever been uttered. They only have one 10-win season in their history. It was last year.
Amazing. But everybody loved Pavia. It's a cool story. He was little, just kind of a dog, right? And then as the season went on...
He's so little!
He really was. But as the season went on, it didn't go the same. And the way he acted around the Heisman Trophy was really unfortunate. And his Q rating has gone down quite a lot, really, since the end of last season, which, again, is a shame because he should be remembered as one of the more fun players in SEC lore. Instead, he's going to be remembered as kind of a jerk. So we'll see where he ends up. But he is now gone. First, they play at First Bank Stadium. Fresh off of a massive renovation, they tore down both end zones and put a lot of club seating there. They've reduced capacity. It looks nice. The amenities are apparently outstanding. I don't know if they've fixed the bottleneck issue. If you've ever been to a game at Vanderbilt, hey, Dad, I know you have. Mm-hmm. The two sides that are on the sidelines, getting in The choke points are nuts, and like the tiny tunnels, and it's hard to just get inside the stadium. Hopefully they fix that for you, but the new capacity is just 35,000. That's all that they fit. Obviously, by far, the smallest stadium in the SEC by almost half of the next smallest stadium in the SEC. But again, nice renovation, really cool town, nice little campus, good place to go watch your team play. And history says it's a good place to go watch your team win. But maybe not anymore. Clark Lee enters year 6 as the head coach at Vanderbilt. You guys know him. He was an alum of Vanderbilt. He played fullback there, actually, a position that just doesn't exist anymore, really, in football. But he was a fullback there. He was Notre Dame's defensive coordinator before taking that job, and he has been named Coach of the Year in the SEC twice now, depending on your publication, each of the last 2 seasons. Started ugly, 2-10, 5-7, 2-10. Pavia comes in, he wins 7 games, and then last year they win 10. They go 10-3, but again, lost in the bowl game to Iowa. They beat Charleston Southern, they won at Virginia Tech, they beat South Carolina, they beat Georgia State, they beat Utah State. Remember, they went into that Alabama game ranked in Tuscaloosa. The score doesn't really show how close Vanderbilt was that day in Tuscaloosa. They lost 30-14. Had an off week, turned around and beat LSU at home. That was a weird game all around.
I seem to remember it was like LSU did something dumb at the end there. I don't remember what it was.
Mark of what their season was last year. No wonder Brian Kelly's going to be on TV instead of coaching. But they beat LSU. They beat Missouri by a score of 17-10 last year. Then they lost at Texas by a field goal. Remember, they fought like hell that day. And really, again, gained a lot of respect from the college football world for this was a good Vanderbilt team. No flukes. They were good. They beat Auburn. They beat Kentucky badly. They beat Tennessee badly at the end of the season in Knoxville. That was a horrible loss for Josh Heupel. And then, of course, they lost the bowl game. Diego Pavia gone. In steps Jared Curtis. He will be the quarterback at – they're talking about competition with him and some redshirt senior that was a backup at New Mexico or New Mexico State. And nah. Jared Curtis is going to be the starter at Vanderbilt. And he was the commitment, the recruitment, the signing, whatever, of a lifetime for that program. He was a 5-star quarterback. Everybody in the country would have taken his signature. Georgia really, really, really wanted him, and Georgia had him, or so they thought. And then Vanderbilt kept winning, and there was just this push from Vanderbilt that he was so receptive to. Nate Bargatze, the comedian, got involved, and Jared Curtis he's from Nashville, so that certainly helped. But when everybody in the country wants a quarterback, and you end up at Vanderbilt, I don't care where you're from. Took a heck of a sales job and a recruiting pitch in order to get that player, regardless of money. Everybody would have paid a 5-star quarterback money. So that was huge for Clark Lee and Vanderbilt. The only question is, will Jared Curtis, the true freshman, be ready to help them win in 2026? I imagine the Vanderbilt faithful will be okay with some growing pains for the young quarterback early on. But he is a phenom, and he will get a nice ease into the season. They open with Austin Peay in Delaware. That is their first 2 games. So that's a nice little introduction to college football for the young quarterback. Then they host NC State. That'll be a fun matchup in week 3. Then it gets tough. They go to Auburn and Georgia in back-to-back weeks before hosting Ole Miss and Arkansas, then going to Kentucky. They have an off week before that Mississippi State game in Starkville. They host Alabama, go to Florida, and then host Tennessee in the rivalry game. Welcome to college football, young quarterback. It starts out easy and then is nothing but after that.
Good luck. That NC State game is very interesting in week 3. Again, week 3, we're all focused on what's happening in Oxford, but that's one of the more interesting games that weekend. And if Vanderbilt wins that game, they got something to talk about. All right. It's not hot chicken. Believe it or not, Michael Borkey, this is a restaurant I've eaten at. The number 1 restaurant in the city of Nashville is an Italian restaurant called Luogo. I dined there a couple of years ago. Fantastic Italian food. I suggest going on Mondays, if you can, for Lasagna Monday. A 15-layer lasagna. Quantities are limited, so get there early. And they also have veal parmesan Thursdays. Show up on Thursday, 16-ounce bone-in, milk-fed veal, pound it thin, smothered with mozzarella and house-made tomato basil sauce. And if you're, I don't know what it was with that guy, but the owner came by and spoke with us for a little bit. I don't know why, but he did. And we ordered dessert. He brought out an extra tiramisu. He's like, you got to try this. It's awesome. One of the best tiramisus I've ever had. If you love tiramisu, you will love it. Great Italian place in Nashville. I highly recommend it, especially with somebody you love. So if you are in Nashville, if you're in the Music City and you want to get away from that hot chicken, go get you a table at Luogo and tell them that Borkey and Hadad sent you.
We might have to check it out. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back in just a bit.
Let's go to the junction, in the groove, and to the top. Don't hurt yourself. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
All right. Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. So, good question from Butch. I've actually never had to explain this before, but some people may not know when we make references what they are. Q rating. He was like, what's a Q rating? It is
a little worse than a P rating, but a little better than an R rating.
It's a measurement that marketing, advertising type people use to determine how likable a celebrity, a person, a brand, or whatever is. So it's just and we use it, of course, as almost like an expression, but that's what it is. It's how likable somebody is, what their Q rating is, what the general public thinks about said person.
Right.
But
I have a very high Q rating, and you do not.
Well, one guy's really mad at me on the text line for apparently making Mississippi look uncultured at a restaurant. I don't know.
Well, what can I say? You're a South Carolina, whatever those people are.
What did I do?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. You did it.
I feel like when it comes to...
See, on the other hand, I have some Ole Miss fan in my Twitter mentions last week saying he hates how likable I am. So, I get it.
I get that from State fans, too, though.
Nah, you don't. I don't. Those
really
are bots.
do.
Those are bots or Ole Miss burners. One of the two.
Although, I have noticed that State fans are less receptive to somebody that is not a State fan or that went to Mississippi State than Ole Miss fans are. Yes.
I think it's just that I'm awesome.
No.
And
no, that's how it is. State fans are, and that's okay. Like, hey, you are how you are, and I'm not going to,
100 and how long has that university been open? I mean,
State fans are less receptive.
200 years of being told you're a second-class citizen. I mean, I get it.
To a outsider.
Yeah, you are an outsider too. You are.
Not anymore. I'm not.
I don't know.
I've lived in Mississippi long enough to not be an outsider of the state.
You still eat frogmore stew, I've heard.
What is that?
I mean, I tried to pull something South Carolina out, and you couldn't even do that. You still go to an oyster roast, I've heard.
Yeah, low country boils instead of crawfish boils, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's outrageous.
Oh, yeah, no, we would just call this a low country boil is what we would call it.
Okay.
I've never heard the phrase frogmore stew before. Interesting.
It's because I'm not an uncultured hick, Borkey, and you are, apparently. What don't you understand about this discussion?
That's his first text ever to the show.
I'm going to point this out. Hold on. I'm going to read the text.
Yeah, please do,
I'm going to tell you guys something here. This is a guy first ever text. Fingers crossed the top restaurant in Nashville isn't any international cuisine, so Borkey can't make Mississippi sound like it's full of uncultured hicks again. This is the kind of fire I want from your first text. Make your first text your best text.
Let it rip,
right?
you know?
If this is your first time to text the show, let it rip, man. Say what you want. Then we'll build a relationship from there. Maybe in a year from now, we'll look back on this whole thing and laugh. But for right now, if this is your first text, come with it. Come strong or don't come at all.
Just leave a 5-star review and
5-star.
Say whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah. You also didn't know what an electric blanket was. That is a good point.
I did not know. No. The second it was said, I knew what it was. I didn't know that they existed. I was unaware that they existed.
That's the same thing. Not knowing what something is and not knowing it existed are the same thing.
But it's not like you learn about electric blankets in school. If I found out
tomorrow that there are flying frogs, I didn't know there were flying frogs.
There are flying fish. I have seen them in real life.
I know they exist.
They're awesome to see in real life. It's wild.
I'm just saying, you can't claim ignorance on something like that. That guy's still mad about Mr. Brightside.
Apparently,
he's who the song was written about. It was his girlfriend. She was touching his chest now.
But he was imagining that. That's the thing. She wasn't actually cheating. He was thinking that she was. That's the whole premise of the song I've made this up in my head.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to go back and reread the lyrics. I thought he was it was happening to him as he was speaking. Out of my head, and I'm doing just fine. I don't know. I don't know if you're right.
There's literally a line in the song, it's all in my head.
No, I think he's just trying to convince himself it's all in his head. He sees her flirting with the guy, and he's like, no, this is all in my head. I think that's what's happening there.
Great song, either way.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Okay. You're wrong if you don't think that's a great song.
Well, no, I'm not.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Taste is taste, man. I've got that Ella Langley, she's from Texas, I can tell, stuck in my head, and I can't get it out. And, I hate that song.
Okay. I don't know anything about that.
You don't know the she's from Texas, I can tell by the way he's two-stepping around the room.
I have, on my Spotify, I have currently, 1,085 songs, and none of them are that one. Not one of them.
I can't get it out of my head. And she's coming to Oxford, and she'll sell out, and that'll be great, and she's a superstar, and that song has overtaken Whitney Houston as the most streamed or listened to song of all time. I want to, I don't know what I can do, shock therapy or something. Anything to get that song out of my head, I'll do at this point. I had to get it on my thigh once, a football injury. I had to get shock therapy on my thigh.
I thought you were about to say you had to get a song tattooed on your thigh.
No. Put that on my head and just do that. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Sports Talk Mississippi. Most of the time, your college football fix when we come back.
You're listening to sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sounds good.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Hour number 3 already on this Wednesday. I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad. And we're glad that you are with us. So I'm going to test Hadad's college football geographical knowledge for the college football fix. I'm curious to see how well he will do. So we will do that right now for the college football fix.
The college football fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. That's the best-selling truck in America, the Ford F-150. Whatever you're looking to do right now, don't waste your time doing it. If you're looking for a new truck, well, then the choice is simple, my friends. Head to your local Mississippi Ford dealers today. Thank you for your attention to this matter. All right. I play Geosports every morning, so I'm excited to do this. Do you play that?
Which is so much fun. I forget to sometimes, but what a great concept
it's in my rotation. Yeah, I have fun with it. I got 976 the other day.
Ooh.
Did really well.
Man, when they bring up Olympics and Olympics locations is where I really fail.
Well, today was where is Ronaldinho from? I mean, Brazil's a big country. That's all I learned. Brazil's a big country. I had the country right, but I have no idea where he lived. So, all right, what do you got for me?
All right. Think of this in terms of the entire FBS. So Power 6 or Power 5 in group of 6, and there's combinations of both, right? Where it's only G6 teams, it's Power 5 G6 and Power 5 Power 5, okay? I've got in front of me the top 6 closest stadiums to each other.
Okay.
In the FBS, the top 6 closest stadiums to each other.
It's got to be FBS.
It has to be FBS, so no Furman to Wofford. It's just
okay.
But there's combinations. Like I said, there's G6, G6, Power 5, G6, Power 5, Power 5 in here. All represented. But you don't have to name them in order. I'm not going to try to get you there. But can you name the top 6 closest stadiums to each other?
Wow. Oh, goodness gracious, man. I'm sure it's a lot of MAC schools that are close to each other.
I'll start giving you some hints if you're onto something. There is one MAC to MAC matchup.
So the smallest state for that would be like Ohio. So is it something like Ohio and Miami of Ohio?
Neither one are on the list.
Okay. This is a tough one. Is there an SEC one?
There is no SEC team mentioned.
Okay, because the closest one would be State and Alabama. So that's not going to be. So that means there's none. Okay.
Would you like the distance?
SMU and TCU?
SMU and TCU are not on this list.
Dang, that's Dallas-Fort Worth are pretty close to each other. Houston and Rice?
Houston and Rice is number 2 on the list. They are 3.5 miles apart, their stadiums.
Okay. Miami and Florida Atlantic?
That's a good guess, no.
Okay.
Florida International would have been a better guess, but they are also not on this list.
Okay. Oh, man. They don't have no, that wouldn't be an FBS team, so that's not going to work. UCLA and USC?
UCLA and USC are number 6. They are 12.2 miles apart.
Okay.
So you've got 2 of the 6.
In that area, oh, goodness. Now, San Diego's not a...
That is the only California-based matchup.
Okay. Goodness. Colorado State and Air Force.
That's a good guess, no.
Okay.
There's a pretty substantial rivalry you're missing in this.
Okay. What conference?
ACC.
Those two.
The only hint that I can think of would give it away.
North Carolina Duke.
North Carolina Duke is number 4 on the list. They are 8.4 miles apart, stadium to stadium.
Is North Carolina State on there?
They are not.
Okay, I thought they were in the same area.
Raleigh a little bit further away.
Okay, for North Carolina Duke. So I haven't got number 1.
You have not gotten number 1.
Not an SEC. Big Ten. Illinois is not close to...
I'll give you a hint on number 1. It involves a Power 5 G6 matchup.
Okay.
And the ACC.
Power 5. It's got to be like... What schools are near each other? Old Dominion and Virginia Tech?
That's a good guess, but no.
James Madison and Virginia Tech?
No.
James Madison and Virginia?
No.
Okay. Is it in the state of Virginia?
It is not.
Okay.
It's going to kill you when I tell you what it is.
Maryland and Navy?
Nope. It's going to kill you. Maryland's also in the Big Ten.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Oh, goodness. That could have just been one, though. Georgia Tech and Georgia State?
Georgia Tech and Georgia State, number 1 on the list, 2.5 miles apart.
Yeah, they're not far apart at all.
So you've got number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 6.
And number 3 and number 5.
These are going to be really tough. So number 5 is the MAC to MAC matchup. One of these teams is probably pretty familiar to you, or at least...
I watched them action. Toledo and Akron?
Akron is one of them.
Akron's in Ohio. So it's like Miami of Ohio or Ohio.
Akron and Kent State.
Kent State!
11.1 miles apart.
All right.
And number 3, they are 5.1 miles apart. It is Big Ten to, I think it's MAC. Hold on. I believe it's MAC, but let me confirm.
Michigan State and Western Michigan?
You are very close.
Michigan State and Eastern Michigan?
Michigan State, no.
Michigan State and Central Michigan?
Nope.
It's not Michigan State.
It's not Michigan State.
Michigan and Eastern Michigan.
Michigan and Eastern Michigan are number 3. They are just 5.1 miles apart. So your list again. The closest stadiums to each other, Georgia Tech and Georgia State. Remember, Georgia State took over the old Turner Field and retrofitted it to football. 2.5 miles apart. Houston and Rice are 3.5. Michigan and Eastern Michigan, 5.1. Duke, North Carolina, 8.4. Akron, Kent State, 11.1. And finally, USC, UCLA, 12.2 miles apart.
Well, there you go.
Do you want the most isolated stadiums? I won't make you guess this time.
The most isolated in terms of what stadiums are the furthest apart?
Furthest to the next FBS opponent.
Okay. Boy, I bet. No, because it's probably not that far from Seattle. But Washington State was the first thing I thought of.
Washington State is number 4. So I've got the top 5. Washington State's number 4. Their next closest FBS stadium is 222 miles away, and it's Boise State.
Oh, it's Boise. Okay, yeah. Ooh, Boise. Well, is Boise on the list then?
They are. They are 222 miles away from Washington
State.
State.
Tie there.
There's an obvious one.
UTEP.
No. There's a really obvious one that's number 1.
Texas Tech?
They're number 2 on the list. 268 miles from the next closest.
Hawaii.
Hawaii is 2,400 miles from Stanford.
Shouldn't count. That shouldn't count.
Yeah, so Hawaii's number 1, 2,400 miles from the next closest stadium. Texas Tech, number 2, 268 miles away from the next closest stadium at TCU. Mentioned Boise State and Washington State. And then Washington, 219 miles from Oregon State.
There you go. I didn't do that bad.
Gosh, no. I mean, that's...
Considering I had no prep. All you said in the rundown was, I can't tell you what it is. So you never know where I'm going. I never knew what I was doing there. So there we go.
Yeah. A lot of really good guesses here on the text line as well.
Yeah.
It's still kind of wild to me that UCLA, specifically UCLA, found their way into the Big Ten. I can't believe they were able to work that out. And it's not going well.
They are a brand. UCLA is a brand. People, when you see the use of those colors, that blue and gold, you know who it is. Basketball, they're a huge brand in that. And my guess is USC was like, we're not leaving without them. Like, that's our historic rival. It sounds funny
Probably
to think
avoided
about.
litigation, too, by doing that.
But because if it had just been USC, I think, the state of California would have been like, absolutely not. So that's probably correct.
Somebody says, I guess Idaho is not FBS. They used to be.
Yeah, they aren't, though.
They are not anymore. They have gone down a level. It's gone well for them.
Well. They're doing real well.
But they're actually getting to compete for, real championships. And they're not getting beaten up every week. So, remember, what was it, 2 years ago they went to Oregon and had a chance to win?
That's correct.
That was crazy. The Vandals, they came and played a game in Oxford once. Not too terribly long ago.
Did they?
They did. It was like 2013 or 2014, something like that.
Huh. I don't have any memory of it.
I think it was a pay-per-view game.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Now you got
it was like 55-3.
Got me curious when that was. Yep, you're 2013.
What was the score?
A 1-11 Idaho team. 59-14.
59-14. Close enough.
And that was an FBS game because Ole Miss played a FCS team that year. They beat the FBS team worse than they beat the FCS team. They beat Southeast Missouri State 31-13.
Jeez.
That's hilarious.
It's your college football fix, driven by Ford. We'll be back.
In the venerable, the friggin' wax out of your ear. Did you hear me?
This is Sports Talk, Mississippi.
Woo! I say, sports fans.
Now, here's more on Super Talk, Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Fun question on the text line. I think the answer's an easy one, though. What would happen if Mississippi State took our current team down to FCS. No change of TV deals, nothing. You just picked up the current team, plopped it into FCS for this year. What would happen?
How many games did they play?
An easy run to the national championship.
Yeah, but they would win the national championship going away. It would not. They might not lose a game or might not win a game by less than 35 points all year.
And look, there's good teams. They'd run into South Dakota State, and they would be well coached, and they'd play well, and they would win by 35 points.
They would kill them. Yeah, and that's true about every SEC team. Mm-hmm. Like, it would just get worse as you go up. Even Arkansas would win the national title.
The biggest difference, as I say all the time, I grew up on FCS football. My dad and I would go to Furman games. That's what we would do. They'd play at 1 o'clock is when they would play, and we'd go watch Furman and then go watch the big games later on in the day at home. That was kind of our football day. And I love it. I've got an affinity. I don't like when Nick Saban gets on the stage at SEC Media Days on the SEC Network and says, we need to play all 12 power games. For a viewer, maybe that would be great television. But if you care about football as a whole, those programs need bye games. You've got to figure out how to keep those alive because they need them, because they provide a really important service to the sport as a whole. But the lines of scrimmage are the biggest difference. When you see, Wofford and Oxford and State's got
Tennessee Tech. Yeah.
You look at the quarterbacks, they're about the same size. You look at the receivers, they got some guys that are 6'3" out there playing receiver.
I don't know about Tennessee Tech's quarterback if he's the same size as Camario Taylor.
Oh, yeah, true. That's an outlier.
I would be really surprised by that.
But they'll have the
now you got me curious. I'm going to look it up.
I mean, a lot of these guys, they'll have quarterbacks that are 6'2", wide receivers that are 6'2" and big, and linebackers that are 230 pounds and all that. They're a step slow, obviously. But it's the lines of scrimmage where, in the depth, they only have 63 players on scholarship at that level as well. So there's 22 fewer players. What's the quarterback room look like?
So there's 5 quarterbacks listed on their roster. The biggest one is 6 foot and 200 pounds.
Go to their offensive line.
Okay. Let's see here. Tennessee Tech O-line. I mean, you got big guys there. You got 300-pounders.
But still, I mean, go just across the board.
My guess is I would rather look at linebackers. Do they have one bigger than Camario Taylor? They do not. They don't have a linebacker bigger than State's quarterback. The biggest linebacker is 6'3". For weight, the biggest one is 240 pounds. For height, the biggest one is 6'3". That's shorter and lighter.
That's not Camario's an outlier, though.
He is, yes.
But let's see. Looking at Wofford, the Terriers, by the way, they're Furman's rival. I hate Wofford. These scoundrels,
bunch of scumbags. If you ask me,
terrible. Offensive line, though. I mean, again, here's your difference right here. 6'4", 290, 6'1", 287, 6'2", 290, 6'2", 295, 6'5", 300, Dylan Porter, big kid. 6'4", 265, 6'2", 290, 6'4", 300, 6'2", 290, 6'1", 270, et cetera, et cetera. That's your biggest difference, is that they're not as big. They're just simply not as big, and they can't handle it. Yes, Mississippi State would just run through and win a national championship at that level.
Yeah,
for sure.
Be nothing to it. No question.
That question reminds me of the Bama fan on Feinbaum that the 2012 Alabama team could beat the Browns. Yeah, and people will throw out, well, back in 1980, whatever, they would play each other. The All-Star team would – no, guys.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah, the best college Indiana last year against – who was the worst team? The Browns? It was the Browns.
Jets or the Browns?
The Raiders. The Raiders had the first pick.
Yeah.
The Raiders would win by 7 touchdowns, if not more.
Easily.
Yeah. That's the thing. I saw I forget who said this, but it was a really good point. It's like you look at a college football team, right? And you say, wow, they might have 15 or 20 guys that are going to play in the NFL. An NFL team has a full team of guys that play in the NFL. Everybody on an NFL roster is an NFL player. So when you talk about who's the 40th best player on your team, for a college, it's probably some guy who's going to be an accountant one day. No offense to accountants. But the NFL's 40th best player is an NFL player. That's the difference.
Yeah.
It's a full team of NFL guys versus a team. They have a lot of NFL guys, but not enough. You got to beat an NFL team, you got to be an NFL team.
Josh says, if that's true, next question, why doesn't Mississippi State do that? Josh, are you nuts, man? Well, being your neck of the woods Friday, I don't know if I want to get that close to crazy.
Josh, man.
We love you, buddy, but because
they would lose.
Kiss the $70 million goodbye.
$100 million a year.
You'd be playing UT Chattanooga, but every week.
Yeah. State's biggest rival would be Jackson State at that point, probably. I don't know if they would play each other. So, yeah. No.
Your games would air on Flow Sports or something.
Yeah. Oh, no. FCS makes the ESPN Plus.
Didn't they get a new deal, though, with Flow Sports and their
I
viewership?
Hope not, because I don't want to deal with Flow Sports. Of course, it's not a problem. State's not going down to FCS. It's not an issue.
Somebody says Taylor's a cross between Peyton and Cam, but better. I do have a question about that, though. He's obviously joking, but are we putting too much on the shoulders of Kamario Taylor as he enters his third start in his career?
It's a good question, but here's the issue: State has to. They need him to be Superman because I don't know how good they are on the offensive line. I expect the defense to be better with Arnett, but I don't know how much better it's going to be. They need their quarterback to be elite. So are they putting a lot of pressure on him? Yeah. Is that the way it's got to be? Unfortunately, also, yeah. They need him to deliver. They need him to basically give them between 3,000 and 3,500 yards passing and between 600 and 800 yards rushing and be responsible for 40-plus touchdowns. That's what they've got to have from Kamario Taylor. If he doesn't deliver that, they're not going to be a good team this year. So, you know what? It kind of goes back to what we've been saying a lot. Like, he's got a good NIL deal. They're paying him plenty of money. Deliver. So, is it too much? Probably for a guy making his third start, looking for his first win as a starter. But that's the nature of the game these days. You know, when Trinidad Chambliss came in, there was a ton of pressure on him. Nobody expected him to deliver in that way. But he did. The great ones will deliver.
But he did win a national championship, albeit at a lesser level. Like, he had started a lot of games.
But you know as well as I do that when you heard that Austin Simmons was out, you were like, oh, God, this could be I mean, Simmons hadn't been playing great. Yeah. You're like, what are we getting with Trinidad Chambliss? And then he turns into Trinidad Chambliss. Well, Kamario Taylor's going to have that same opportunity.
Yeah, that is tough. I mean, how do you square that, right, with the importance of Minnesota in week 2? But if he goes up there in his first road start ever and throws a couple of picks, you know, that's okay that happens. But also, dang it, man, you're a pro and you're making.
He's just got to be good. That's you know, for State to get where they want to get this year, or maybe even be better. Tenet number 1 is Kamario Taylor is the real deal. All right. Number 2 is the defense is going to be better, and number 3 is the offensive line is going to be better. And those things are kind of connected, but Taylor can help the offensive line because he can escape easier. He gives a running threat every time. You know, when they want to run those RPOs, the idea of quarterback run isn't a foregone conclusion. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure on every player in college football. Are we saying the same thing right now about Keelan Russell or Austin Mack or whoever wins that Alabama job? He's got a lot more pressure. Whoever wins that job, they got to go to the playoff this year.
Yeah.
There's pressure on Sam Levitt. He's got to go to the playoff this year.
Oh, buddy, there's a ton of pressure on
pressure
Sam
on
Levitt.
Trinidad Chambliss.
A ton of pressure on him.
That's playing quarterback in the SEC. Nobody in the SEC who's lining up at quarterback this year is doing it under the pretense of, whatever happens, happens. Like everybody
feel like
has a
Curtis,
job to do.
If anybody has that, the longest leash,
he's the one. You know, what kind of pressure's on Arch Manning? No, never mind. Never mind when to play. Talking about legacy. You think about what Peyton and Eli meant to college football, and you're not going to go to the playoff. You're not really going to do anything in your college football career. That's going to be your legacy. That's huge. What's the pressure for Gunnar Stockton? Oh, we expect this program to win the SEC and play in the playoff, and anything less than that is a total disappointment. Well, there's a lot of pressure with that.
Somebody says, why are we worried about how much pressure a college quarterback has? They're professional athletes now due to NIL in the portal. Pressure is part of the job. Well, I mean, we talk about it. There's the conversation.
We talk about pressure for the NFL guys, don't we?
Yeah, Tyler Shuck is going to.
I mean, pressure.
That's a conversation this offseason, too, is how much in year 2 should the expectations rise for, even though he's 26, the young quarterback. Jackson Dart, people are going to look at him and dude's got pressure. He's a giant. They got a new coach. He's in New York. you got to go win. So pressure's a thing that we'll talk about. It doesn't mean that anything you said is untrue about being a professional, though. You're right. I said this, a podcast listener didn't really appreciate me saying this, but it's true. If Chambliss against LSU throws 3 interceptions and they lose because of poor quarterback play, he's got to get the pro treatment. Mm-hmm. He's got to. You want to be a pro. Here's the scrutiny that comes with it. They're not just kids anymore. Kind of feels like gross sometimes to be hypercritical, but that's the job they chose.
There it is.
We'll be back.
Ready to take your side?
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Are you ready?
On the SuperTalk app, supertalk.fm, and always on your local SuperTalk Mississippi station.
Getting some football cliches on the text line.
Oh, yeah.
Taught my little guy if you do it right, you do it light. You do it wrong, you do it long.
It's kind of like, was it measure twice, cut once?
Yeah, he's locked in on it. He loves that one.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trying to get him to do this summer packet. It's like, which, by the way, going into first grade, he's got like a big old packet of work he was supposed to do. It's like, what's summer break, guys?
Yeah, they don't get one anymore.
But he did like a half a page. He was like, you said do it right, do it light, and I did it right. I was like, God, you got me.
There you go. I got to throw a practice makes perfect at somebody yesterday. I was excited with that.
Practice doesn't make perfect.
Perfect practice makes perfect. You're right. But so they were talking about my Trump impression. Like, it's getting better. I was like, well, practice makes perfect. I'm doing it all the time.
Growing up is realizing that the old football coach cliches actually meant something.
Pleased but never satisfied is a good one.
My dad used to tell me, trust but verify.
Trust but verify is something I say all the time. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in trust but verify. Yeah. Anytime, like when you go to the restaurant, you pick up a pizza. Trust but verify. Look at the pizza before you leave.
Yeah,
make sure, because you don't want to get home.
You know it's a good place, but
yeah,
still.
Yeah.
All right, I know you're not a golf guy, but would you like to see this in football? The PGA Tour is going to implement a new feed, a new broadcast feed that you could watch. And it's called the Quiet Please. Quiet Please, just like they have in little signs on the course when players are about to hit. It is an announcer-free, no announcers, video feed for the Rocket Classic. It will start tomorrow, cover all 4 rounds on ESPN+. It will emphasize what they call player-caddy conversations, which are the broadcast never shows them adequately, and the announcers talk over them all the time. I want to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's the strategy.
But you'll be able to hear that. You will have crowd reactions, natural course audio. Graphics and stuff will still pop up, but no announcers, just ambient noise.
Okay.
If that came to football, would you watch
it? Well, they did it back in the 80s. They had a no-announcer game. And I don't know how much of the ambient noise, like they didn't get any of the coaches and stuff like that, but they did a no-announcer game. And it was a huge failure because we just rely on the this is, of course, now this is back before you had score bugs and everything else, right? So to know that it was 3rd and 6 with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left in the game, the announcers kind of had to tell you. Nowadays, it might be a little bit easier. No, I don't think that I would. Like, the only time I want to watch, I don't want to have an announcer, is when I'm at the game. Like, it's just a crutch at this point, but I want to hear somebody talking. If nothing else, I just need that for the background noise. There's a lot of times I'm not really listening to the announcer, but I just want to hear somebody talking. So I would say no.
I'm kind of with you.
Plus, I don't want Richard to be out of his second job.
Well, he's got other stuff to do, I guess.
He does, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you. Even though I would love for them to, hey, the player and the caddy are talking, and it's like a very technical, very precise conversation. I'd love to hear it, and you guys are ruining it for everybody. But I'm with you. I will say, though, there are the PA announcers that think that they can do play-by-play in stadiums, and I wish they would.
That's annoying.
What's your broadcasting pet peeve, if you have one?
Ooh. You get this a lot if you watch a lot of college football that's not the power conferences, where the color guy is just talking over the play-by-play guy. Like, especially like if he's like laughing or something. Like, it's like, ball thrown deep into the end zone, it's going to be caught. Oh, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't need that. You're the color guy, wait till it's your turn to talk. I don't like that. You just every now and then you get guys you can just tell that didn't really do their research. That drives me insane. Like, the people who do a good job are the ones that put in the time and learn stuff. And there are people who just, you can tell they don't really do it. So
I do there are people that are visually impaired and they need the announcers when watching games on TV. I do wish TV announcers would do less radio announcing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is when you're listening to Neil or David on the radio, they have to tell you everything because you know nothing. You're in your car, you're doing whatever. Right. You can't see anything. So they're your eyes. They have to do down and distance, clock, all that stuff every snap. But if you're watching on TV, I don't need 3rd and 8, ball on the 35-yard line, 25 seconds to go on the – no, I see all that already.
Yeah.
So
you just can throw in the down and distance.
It's just third down, third and short.
Down, third and short, yeah. Third and long, whatever it is, I get that, yeah.
They can do too much of that. Now, when you call out formations and stuff, sure, because the average person may not know that.
Right. If you're telling me 3 wide and tight end comes in motion, whatever you want to say, that's fine. Call the game, but you're right, the radio thing. But on the radio, I want that. I got to have that. Like Jack Crystal used to say, told him Duty Noble said, tell him the time, tell him the score, tell him the down and distance, and don't tell him much else. That's what the radio announcer's job is.
That was what Richard told me when I started doing these high school games. I called Richard. I was like, you got any advice? And he said, you don't need to add anything unless you can. But he said, say time on the clock, where the ball is, and what the score is.
Yeah.
Everything else, whatever. But make sure you get those 3 things all the time. And I appreciate him. It was really helpful. It's funny. I go back and listen to my broadcast, and then I'll listen to Richard call a game. It's like, God, he's so good.
He knows
at this.
What he's doing.
He's so
Someone
good
says their
at this.
pet peeve is when they show the head coach constantly on the sidelines like they did with Kiffin last year. I'll go a step further, and it's when they show somebody who's related to a player or coach. The king example, obviously, is when LSU was in the College World Series with Kramer Robertson, and they would not stop showing Kim Mulkey. They showed her every pitch her son took. If a ball was hit to short, you saw Kim Mulkey. I'm like, nobody wants this, including Kim Mulkey, who did not want it. She was very adamant, I wish they wouldn't do this, but I want to come see my son play. And it just drives me crazy. Yes, keep the focus on the field. Now, with Kiffin, the camera loves him. What can I say? He's always doing something.
He loves the camera.
Well, there's that too. So,
and I mean, this is another one too. During the Matt Corral, John Rice Plumlee thing, anytime Corral would make a mistake, here's Plumlee on the sideline. Guys, he's not going in the game.
Yeah, I get that. I can see that. Yeah,
we don't need to see that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of insulting to Plumlee, too, because it's like, oh, could he go in? Could he go in? And the answer is no.
The answer is always no, yeah.
But, yeah, I'm with you. The overshowing of things that aren't the game. You never have to take the camera away from the game to satisfy the viewer of the game. Ever. If you're missing plays and missing stuff because you're showing crowd shots, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It is funny, though. This only happens in the World Cup. And I don't know who is paying for this or providing it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anytime there's a World Cup game going on, and it's Kazakhstan or whoever, the camera crew will make sure to find the most attractive woman from that country, and she is sitting front row.
They do a fantastic job of that. But they also went the other way with that. They're apparently it was contractual that they had to show the FIFA president and whatever dignitaries he was sitting with once per half. They were constantly saying, hey, find celebrities. I don't need to see David Beckham. I don't need to see him. I know he's there. But you're also correct. The word would be baddies. They find them. the camera finds them in these World Cup games. It's crazy. I mean, you go back, a decade, and what Jen Sturger and the Florida State girls, one of those girls ended up in WWE. I don't know how many people know that or not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, you had the Houndstooth twins at Alabama. The camera finds those.
How do you think these small nations do? Do you think they have like a contest or something, or I mean, because they're
Kazakhstan's out there just like, we only send beautiful women. Please send in picture, and you can get full paid trip.
I mean, they get front row seats. Like they're clearly being placed in those spots.
I mean, there might be that. It's also like rich women tend to be better looking most of the time. Sometimes,
or the billionaires that they're.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other side of it. Like they didn't buy the ticket, kind of thing. So.
I like this one on the text line. The TV ref almost always drives me nuts.
Yeah.
The officiating expert that comes in and defends the officials on the field no matter
calls.
What.
Like, yeah, it doesn't look like. I mean, it doesn't look like pass interference to me. Guy's missing an arm.
This guy's leg is over there. What? Not a penalty.
Not a penalty. It's fine.
Oh, man. 601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. Oh, and then this one, too. So they mentioned Don Kessinger. You're right. When they find a narrative that they like, and it's just every single play, every snap, the kid from this place over and over and over again. And also, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but you don't have to announce that every player transferred in this era. Oh, what a catch by the Missouri transfer. Well, they're all transfers, man. What a catch by the wide receiver. How about that?
That's a good point, yeah. After the first game of the season, I don't need to hear about the so-and-so transfer. At that point, they play on this team.
Yeah. They were in the uniform.
Right, we'll move on.
What's their hometown?
Exactly.
Go with that.
Yeah.
We'll wrap the show up with you next.
From the Venable Glen.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
Introducing to you
Sports Talk Mississippi.
I got nothing to say.
Who will be on the call for CBS College Football 2:30 game that's no longer on SEC that has the Big Ten, which will air Mississippi State, Minnesota? Do you know who's taking Gary's place or who has taken Gary's place?
Let's find out if I can find out.
Because we got that on the text line.
Brad Nessler, Charles Davis, and Jenny Dell.
Okay. Charles Davis, recurring guest on this show.
He's been on this show before, yeah. And
multiple times.
Nessler is one of the best in the business. I hate that he's been relegated to these third and fourth tier Big Ten games.
Really is a shame.
He should be absolutely calling Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss, LSU in those games, but such is life. Such is life. But that said, Charles Davis is no offense to Gary Danielson. Really, I really mean no offense. Because he's been on this show before, he was a good guest. But, people just couldn't stand him. He was just so infatuated with Alabama that it
just nonstop.
It just came across. Even when Alabama wasn't playing, Alabama would work their way. That's another one. So this is something that if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I am, you know that a lot of times they talk about other things going on during the match. They're trying to set you up for the main event. You want to stay tuned so you can watch this. And they'll sometimes will not pay attention to the match. It was really bad in the 2000s with WWE. Really, really bad. It's better now. But that's another thing. I don't want to hear about if you're calling Florida playing Tennessee, I don't want to hear about Alabama. Outside of something maybe Tennessee plays them next week or you give me a score update, but I don't need to hear storylines about other teams while those teams are playing.
Nope. And if the game's a blowout, get loose. I get that. But when you're doing this kind of, here's a look at my picks to make the playoff in the second quarter of a close game,
I don't need that.
Totally lost the plot.
I don't need that. Don't need
says,
that.
The funny part is most Alabama fans swore he didn't like them. I mean, they also think the SEC's out to get them, too.
That's the truth about everybody. Like, this when you hear, and I feel like that's usually a good thing, right? If both sides of a coin are telling you that you're wrong, you're probably right. When we hear like the SEC is, or like this announcer is biased against State. No, he's biased against Ole Miss. He's probably doing a good job because he's got both of them thinking he's too impartial.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think that the SEC is out to get either school in this state at this point. Especially after my interview with Sankey. I was surprised that Sankey was as open as he was about his thoughts on Clemson. I thought he was going to be a lot more political. Oh, boy, Upstate South Carolina radio. Gosh, hey, Dad, I forgot to send it to you. I meant to. This
Did
guy.
They say something to you?
No, about the interview.
Oh.
About Sankey.
They
hate Sankey.
They clip it?
Yeah.
Did we get credit?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got credit.
But, I mean, this guy was just screaming into his microphone about Greg Sankey. It was wild. I should have sent it to you. I mean, just total meltdown about that.
Was it the guy from the
105 point something?
Remember last year, the South Carolina guy?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that guy.
Who was screaming. Richard's over there like, President Trump today had a very interesting statement. This guy's over there. Lenoris Sellers has to be great at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, dude, calm down.
It was not that guy.
Okay, so I was making sure.
But, I mean, it was just like, you going to cry? I mean, good Lord. Yeah, they're pretty fired up. And as I said before, that energy will change when LSU beats them by 5 touchdowns. And although, man, there are people around Clemson that think that they've got a roster that can compete.
Do they?
Well, and there's more continuity at Clemson than there is at LSU.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't buy it. I will believe Clemson can line up and compete in that game when I see it, not a second sooner. But people there think that the timing of that game is going to be really beneficial, and that they've got players that can line up and win that game. And I'm not talking about random fans online. I mean people that I know that either have been around. I talked to somebody in coaching yesterday that's like, hey, man, look out, because Clemson might not be a pushover like they were last year. So we'll see.
We will see. I don't know about that, though. I will say this. When we're talking about in the game itself, once the whistle blows, Dabo Swinney's as good a coach as anybody. But his problem right now is talent acquisition. That is not a problem over on the other sideline.
Not a problem at all.
In this game. So I think that's going to be the biggest difference. It's not going to be X's and O's, it's going to be Jimmy's and Joe's. And that tends to be the difference most everywhere you go nowadays in college football.
I've got such a sarcastic tweet ready if Clemson plays well but loses.
You already got it locked up? You already got it in the chamber?
They were just a linebacker
away. No, don't share it. I do love when I get a thought 6 months in advance, like, ooh, if this happens, I'm definitely tweeting this. I love when that happens.
More Brian Hadad after the news. Thunder and Lightning coming up next. I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.